So we all know that the Beldam eats children. The ghost kids told us that. The cat hinted at it too. Case closed, right? She's a monster. She's hungry. End of story. But that's wrong. The truth is darker. By the time Coraline showed up, the Beldam didn't just want another meal. She wanted a daughter. She built an entire world, not to feed, but to finally have a family. Now I want to focus on the other world. See, the other world feels like home. And I know what you're thinking. That's exactly what the Beldam wants. So she can lure all the children and later eat their souls. However, there's something wrong with the other world. The other characters, like the Other Father and the Other Wybie, are flawed. Now some people will tell you the Beldam creates the Other Father and the Other Wybie, even the neighbors, for one simple reason. So Coraline doesn't feel isolated. And on the surface, that makes sense. If Coraline walked into a world where it was just her and this creepy other mother, she would have bolted instantly. But here's the problem with that argument. These characters aren't just distractions. They're layered. They're emotional. They're sacrificial. Think about the Other Father. Not only does he entertain Coraline, he protects her. He literally sacrifices himself to help her escape. If he was just a puppet, he would never turn against the Beldam. And that's the key detail most people miss. The Beldam built him that way on purpose. She coded fatherly love into his very being. Same with the Other Wybie. He doesn't only hang out around Coraline. He risks his own safety to warn Coraline. These aren't shallow copies. They're a functioning family. Which raises the real question. Why would the Beldam waste all that energy making Coraline feel genuinely loved if all she wanted was a quick meal? Why create a dad who defends her or a friend who cares for her when they actively work against her own plan? The reason is, the Beldam simply didn't just want another victim. She wanted a daughter. Something to love. Even after Coraline sees the Beldam's true form, she doesn't stop acting like a mother. She still cooks meals, still plays by family etiquette. And instead of instantly devouring her like the ghost children warned, she punishes Coraline, negotiates with her, even bargains with her parents' lives. Why? Because the Beldam is still clinging to the fantasy of having a daughter that loved her back. Even when the mask is gone, she doesn't want to lose the possibility of being Coraline's mother. When Coraline proposes the game, the Beldam's eyes light up. Not because she loves games, but because this was her last chance to win Coraline over willingly. If she won, Coraline wouldn't just be food. She'd be hers forever. See, we know the Beldam is capable of overpowering Coraline instantly. She could have sealed the door, bound Coraline in webs, and ended it. But she doesn't. Not until the very end, when Coraline rejects her completely and tries to escape. Only then does she unleash her true form and fight with everything she has. This is the moment that proves the theory. The Beldam didn't want to force Coraline. She wanted her to choose her, to accept her, to love her. That's why she waited so long, because deep down, she didn't want another victim. She wanted a daughter. So yes, the Beldam is a monster, but not just a monster who feeds. By the time Coraline crossed her path, she was something else entirely, something more dangerous. She was a monster who was lonely, and in her twisted way, she thought she could fix that by building a perfect family and making Coraline a part of it forever.